Hey there, everyone, brothers, sisters, family, and friends. Um, this is a continuation of an Ascension Handbook. Um, Last time we discussed the introduction, what is energy, and a little bit about space, just kind of an overview. But this segment is going to be about time. It's really interesting. It's an awesome subject. When I first read through this section, I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor. It is just amazing um, how a higher being, a fifth dimensional being, views space and time. Not in a linear sense, but all happening at one point. The past, the present, and the future, all being experienced by your different frequencies all at one time. So let's get into it. Time. From my perspective and from that of other levels of your own being, time as you know it simply doesn't exist. I and other levels of your being fully participate in the present, past, and future of this planet simultaneously. I am aware of portions of my energy incarnating at many points in Earth's history with as much intimacy as you have for the incarnation you know as you. This is because I am not restricted by a linear brain, but use direct cognition. Therein lies a big difference. The physical brain operates sequentially with infinite time needed to process any sensory input. Without denying its awesome structure, the brain and nervous system are slow. Your finger is burning, so you move it off the stove or drop the hot pan. It could take up to a second between initial contact and letting go. More complex projects such as designing a new house or computer system may take months or years because of the time taken to process thoughts through the brain. Some projects are so lengthy that they cannot be completed within a participant's timeline, and so the concept of history came about. Someone being born today has to be informed about what has happened on the planet to date, or at least selected parts of what has happened. Some people spend their entire lives recording what's happening and telling others about it, all because the physical brain synapses take a few milliseconds to fire. It's pretty true, actually. It's logical and physiological. The non-physical levels of your being do not have this limitation. Through direct cognition of the energy of events, I can tap into any point in what you think of as your planet's history or future with equal ease. I suggest that you try to visualize what it feels like. Imagine that you are a higher frequency aspect of your own consciousness and are looking down at several people, each in a different period of history. By simple intent, you can merge with any one of them, or all of them at once. Become them, and know every facet of what they're thinking and feeling, because you are them. Ooh. You are, say, an Atlantean crystal specialist, a Roman soldier, a medieval peasant, and of course the self you know today. Try it. Get a sense of how each of them perceives time, how you perceive time, and how you interact. Now, it was all carefully planned to be this way from the beginning. It didn't have to be like this, however, and other species and other reality systems do it very differently. Your particular species made a collective decision at a high level of spirit to literally create the sensation of the passage of time in order to provide several learning tools. One of them is karma, the law of balance. It's based on the concepts that if person X affects the life of person Y in any way, then the effects of that must be reciprocated. Thus, Y must affect the life of X in the same or similar way to create an energetic balance. Now, this is grossly simplified, and there are many waivers of this reciprocity. But from the perspective of X and Y on the physical plane, X has to affect first, then Y. Some framework was needed to prevent everything happening at the same time. Otherwise, X and Y would be unable to sort out apparent cause from effect. The framework chosen was perception of time. To adopt this linear perception of time, you didn't have to create anything new. Sorry about that. I'm visiting my sister and my nieces and nephews, and there's just tons of people going back and forth. My nephew and his friend are back there playing Call of Duty, and it's just craziness around here. But where were we? The construction of the brain that the species chose for the human body built this limitation in perfectly. Of course, from a higher perspective, the actions of X and Y occur simultaneously, the exchange being choreographed through their non-physical levels. I have elaborated the point of simultaneous time because it explains why the energy available for creation is unlimited. The same energy unit can be in countless points on the physical timeline with great ease by simply declaring its intent. Energy units can form the Atlantean's crystal cutter, the Roman sword, and the peasant's hoe simultaneously, and in view of energy's playful nature would delight in the irony. I am talking about your perception of time, not the arbitrary division into units of hours, minutes, and seconds. They are just the markings on your measuring stick and have to do with your perception of time. Now, clock time seems very real to you based as it appears to be on the motion of the planet around the sun. There is no real reason there's no real reason why you should organize your activities according to light and dark. It's just convenient. It's also convenient to have the planet rotate around the sun, balancing centripetal and centrifugal forces. By perception of time, I mean how you sense duration and how you perceive one event and then another, and then another. If you could experience all the events at once, time would present no sensory obstruction or limitation to you. Imagine a large tapestry made of vertical and horizontal threads. Each vertical thread is one perceived now point, and the horizontal threads represent space. The colored diagonal threads making up the tapestry pattern are the events of your life occurring in time and space. Now imagine a tiny insect on the tapestry. If it went horizontally, it would experience each now point in succession, but would be stuck in one place. Occasionally, it would stumble over a colored thread and experience a tiny piece of your life. If it went vertically up the tapestry, it would move through space, but be stuck in one point, and so would experience everything that happens across space, but only in one moment. That would be crazy. It would see snapshots of everything that happened on the planet at one instant, including an instant of your life. Oblivious, obviously, if our insect gets smart, it follows one of the millions of colored threads and experiences the life of one person. From your vantage point outside, you could see the entire tapestry, time, space, and the webwork of people's lives, and could, if you wished, drop in at any point and experience their lives with them. But you'd be too busy because you'd notice that there are millions of tapestries alongside this one, stretching back to infinity, and the colored threads actually go from tapestry to tapestry, weaving in 3 dimensions. The parallel universe that we've heard about, and more, you can faintly see ghost tapestries shimmering about the physical versions. Wow, that's really crazy. The tapestries of the upper plane is someone watching you, just like you were watching the insect, as it moved about the tapestry with its head down, diligently following one little thread. So that was the section on time. That was a really interesting subject. So receptive fields and just how we view time as linear. It just feels so limiting. We just we're only seeing part of the picture. Like, see, because we're human, we think as humans, but we're really more than that. We are gods. Even Christ said it. Ye are gods, and the scriptures cannot be broken. So we need to stop thinking three-dimensionally and expand our horizons, open our mind. We need to start thinking fifth dimensionally. Sorry. It's just so amazing. I just want to point out, use direct cognition. I believe we covered direct cognition in space and in the what is energy overview. The brain and nervous system are slower than what you really are. They're restrictive to us because we're in this human body. We are much faster than that. See, once we are spirit, we don't experience taste, touch, and smell and feeling through our fingertips, let's say touching. We would experience it already as a whole. Our soul already perceives it. See, but it takes time for the feeling to go from our finger to our brain and then to our soul to tell us what it is. And yeah, that's really mind-blowing. It's blowing my mind right now. But let's see, what else did I underline in here? Karma, the law of balance. So we're definitely affected by karma and the law of balance. So, like it said, if X affects Y, then Y must affect X in a reciprocating fashion. So everything is equal and opposite to everything. There's a reaction to every action. It would go with Einstein's law of physics there, of every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And I think that's about the only stuff that I underlined in here. If you could experience all events at once, time would present no sensory obstruction or limitation to you. That was something very important that we highlighted in here. So if you could experience all events at one time, then time wouldn't feel linear at all. It would feel like it's one big now. It wouldn't be past, present, or future. See, and in fact, our soul, our spirit, is feeling the past, the present, and the future, say past life incarnations. Since we have past life incarnations, we are living in a continuous now. What was, will be, and will be again. Christ said that himself too. What was, will be, and what will be again. There is nothing new under the sun. Nothing. What else? I just want to point this out. This will do good for self-exercises. Imagine that you are a higher frequency aspect of your own consciousness and are looking down at several people, each in a different period of history. By simple intent, you can merge with any one of them or all of them at once. Become them know every facet of what they're thinking and feeling, because you are them. That was something that I highlighted in here that was, it reached out at me and just, wow, that goes back to treat others as you would want yourself treated, as you treat yourself, as you love yourself, love others, because you are them. They are you. The water on this planet has always been here. Blood is what the human body is, what, 80-some% water? So the water that's been here has been from somewhere else, and it's just recycled. It's all going in a circular motion. We're all sharing the same stuff. We are them. They are us. Love one another. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for now. The next subject that we're going to cover is motion. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am enjoying this thoroughly. I am loving it, so much so that I couldn't wait to make this video for you guys. Bless you all. Love and light to everyone, and peace be upon you. Hey guys, I just wanted to add one thing at the end of this video. I briefly spoke upon the human body and how we are all sharing the same resources on this planet. See, the water on this planet, our bodies, like I said a minute ago, our bodies are like 80-some% water. The water that was in, say, Christ's blood, Moses, in the ancient peoples, their blood ran back into the earth, and the water, gets recycled back through the earth. And the water that, we get today, that we take into our body, and our blood is constantly revived and constantly it's constantly, continuously staying liquid. We have to have new water to keep that going. So nothing's leaving this planet. Nothing else is really coming in except for what comes in on a meteorite or an asteroid, God forbid a huge asteroid. So everything's being recycled, and we are continuously sharing the same stuff. Everything that was then is now. And I just wanted to add that in there. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bless you all.